You're with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. Now, spring has arrived, and with it comes the opportunity to not only declutter and clean our homes, but to also clean our mind. Yes, clear our thoughts, revive, and start fresh. I love it. And as the cold weather dissipates, so too should the unnecessary clutter in our lives. We chat to clinical psychologist Dr. D on how well we can spring clean our lives. Dr. D, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Morning, and really, really important. You know, we have so many unresolved things, and many of them have come to the fore during this period of isolation. We thought that we were in a 3-week lockdown. This has turned into a marathon. We've had lots of time to ruminate and to think and to process and to say, where have we been? Where are we going? How do I want to spend my energy from now on? What do I need going forward? And what we're needing is exactly what you're saying, clean space. No murky space, the stuff that you haven't dealt with, those unresolved issues, that issue that you just think of in those moments before you go to sleep, the conflict that you had that isn't even really that important, the people that you miss. Part of spring cleaning your mind, your heart, and your life is to gently find ways of honoring yourself, taking care of yourself, and saying it's a time to let go of all of this stuff. It might require a courageous conversation. It might require a phone call that could be a little bit difficult that starts off by saying, you know, this has really been stupid. I miss you. I think we should get over this and move forward. It might be tackling something that you've been putting off and putting off and putting off that you know is important, but you're going to start doing it because it's spring. So it's a time for kind of clearing out yourself and getting the space between you and people that you love also cleaned out.
And Dr. D, what are the causes of a cluttered life in need of I'll call it a good cleansing? How can this cause damage to our personal lives, our work, and our relationships?
You know, it's a very, very good question, and thanks for asking it, because we all have it, and there are lots of causes. Some of them is we dismiss things as, you know what, that was upsetting, but not really important. Let me not rock the boat. It's not worth the challenge. It's just a stage we're going through. It will be okay in the morning. I'll take that. I'll shove it under my emotional carpet. And you know what happens? Your emotional carpet starts looking like the Alps after a while. And then what happens is it can be the smallest thing, or you can be particularly stressed, especially through a challenging time, and you can explode. And you start experiencing symptoms sometimes, low frustration tolerance, aggression that can be sparked off, or you turn it inwards and you feel sad or sometimes even depressed. Or there could be physiological symptoms that are an indication of unresolved stress, that are lower backache, migraine headaches, sleep disturbances, appetite problems. All of these things are saying, you know what, stop, be kind to yourself. Take a look at what you need. Maybe we're all too busy trying to keep our head above water or looking after other people, which we have to. But unless you look after your partner's husband or your partner's wife or your children's father or your employee's employee, you've got nothing more to give. You don't feel filled up. And these kind of things that have been worrying you don't go away. They just take another form, and then they can hijack you in the most unexpected and awful ways.
I love it, Dr. D. Where do we start? You know, you've got my full attention. There are so many people out there who really struggle with where to begin. How can we start to spring clean our lives? What are the steps, and what are your tips?
Look, I think the first thing is awareness. Awareness is always the first step to change. It's not enough. Being aware of something means that you've got to take some sort of action. But spend a little time. Just set aside a little time, even in the middle of the day, to say, you know, what are those things that I need to tackle that continually intrude, that continually take over my thoughts and my mind, that I try and push away, but they come knocking again, knocking on the inside of my door. It's that relationship that I have to sort out. It's that difficult call. It's the task that I've been putting off and putting off. You know, the importance of dealing with these things right now also means that we recognize the healing power of support. And there's a kind of a need for connection, for you to find your tribe, people who will listen, to understand, not always listen to respond or be an echo chamber of telling you that their things are worse. So, in cleaning out your life, you might need to reach out and say, look, come not help me because I'm incapable. Help me because the feeling of support is energizing and I'm worth it. So, having conversations is important. Self compassion is very important. And then the day comes, and it could be today. Set yourself a goal, get into that routine. If it was about exercise, if it was about eating well, if it was about taking care of yourself, it's not only about that. It's about getting control of your life. Today's the day that I'm going to start with whatever it is that I was going to do, step by step, not all together. And at the end of it, look in the mirror, give myself a wink, say, okay, girl, you started. You did it today.
I absolutely love it, Dr. D. Well said, that we're not all in the same boat. We might be in the same storm, but our boats may be different. Self-compassion, but also reaching out and having those conversations, because those conversations and reaching out and support can be empowering. You've been so fantastic. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
I've loved it. Thank you so much.
Well, spring is about decluttering and reviving. Take the time to hit the refresh button and spring clean your home, your life, and with the help of ALLERGEX, your allergies. And ALLERGEX non-drowsy can assist you with allergy relief for the entire day, allowing you to enjoy life allergy-free.
Free to be you. Live, work, play, sleep, allergy-free with ALLERGEX non-drowsy.